we were down 14-0, and we're reeling a little bit against an Iowa State team that was really fired up and played well out of the gate and had us on our heels. And then we made a big play by Kroc that kind of ignited our sideline, which we needed because we were kind of dead and just kind of lethargic. And it was good to be able to get that thing tied at half, I thought, and then we made the interception and got a field goal. But second half, we talked in the locker room that we had to be able to run the football and we had to be able to get off the field on third down. And if we did that, we'd have an opportunity to get in the fourth quarter and have a chance. And I'm so proud of the guys. They played really hard and showed great resolve. So I'll open up to questions.
Coach, what was the change after it's 14-0? Because it seemed like it was like that, and the game switched at a dime.
I think Crockett's run. We did a great job blocking up front, and John made a great cut and outran everybody. And then it kind of gave the defense a little bit of life to say, you know what, if we can get a stop, we can maybe get this thing tied, because I was afraid we were going to go down, be down 2 scores at half, and then maybe the momentum would have been a little different. But I think John's run was what kind of got us going.
You said yesterday that your coaching staff might need a quarter to get acclimated to each other on game day. Did you sense that? What was it like after the second?
I would have said probably a half now. You just could tell, just communication-wise and stuff. We ironed out a lot of things at halftime. Great communication by those guys. Our staff did an unbelievable job, both sides of the ball. I mean, Matt and his guys and Tim and his guys did a great job of finding where our errors were early in the game, both offensively and defensively, and then making the correct adjustments. And proud of those guys. We got a great staff here.
Did you make specific adjustments on defense after those first couple of drives?
Well, the quarterback was hurting us running the football, so Matt made some adjustments that we talked about, and we changed our front up a little bit to try to keep him in the pocket, so to speak. He's a good running quarterback, and he hurt us, but the big thing that we had to eliminate was the big play. And they did get one big play. Kid made a nice catch, and Higgs missed the tackle, and I'd put Higgs in that position a lot of times, and they made a good play and had us on our heels, but I was proud of them. Well, Duds was hurting out there. When they both go down on the same play and have to bring in the 2 backup guys, I thought, oh boy. But they played really well. They're, kind of the quarterbacks of the defense, so to speak, and they keep everybody relaxed. They keep everybody calm, and it helps when you have 2 4-year starters at safety, as well as Carlton and Travis that are 4-year starters, and really S has been a 3-year player for us. Those core 5 guys being in the middle of the field really makes a defensive staff and a head coach feel pretty comfortable, because they're going to get us in the right calls. I thought he did a great job. I think early in the first half we were just maybe a little behind on all of our substitutions and play clock, and we were close on some things, and then we emphasized it at halftime. And the only thing I remember talking to the offensive staff is, let's cut him loose, let's have him run the football a little bit. And he did a tremendous job running the football, getting some first downs, moving the chain. The one time I think we had it at about the -7 or something, and drove down and at least got 3 points. I thought that was a big sequence for Carson.
You're not sort of a cliche in the coming out party or something with him, because you've seen him in practice for 3 years, but you haven't seen him under the lights.
Yeah, it is. But, he needed to get his feet wet, and I think Carson will continue to improve and get better. He's probably had some throws he wishes he had back, and he maybe had some checks at the line of scrimmage. But I told people he's going to probably make some mistakes, but he's our guy, and we're going to ride him. And I was really excited about his performance.
With all the changes, Chris, it looked an awful lot like Bison football the last 3 quarters that everybody's become accustomed to the last 3-4 years. I mean, people are going to start saying, now you're not going to miss a beat. You just roll over a Big 12. So,
absolutely not. We've got to go to work on Monday, because we go back on the road and have to go to Weber State. So it's one game, it's one win. It's a great win. I'm excited for the guys. I'm excited for our program. I'm excited for Bison Nation and the alums to be able to get that win over a Big 12 team. But we've got to keep moving forward. It's just one game, and our kids are grounded. And we've got a lot of great seniors that I believe will make sure that we go back and go to work on Monday.
But there must be a sense of relief or joy or something, because this is your first game. I mean, you lost 24 seniors. I mean, is there any sense of, we got the first one out of the way?
Well, I think more so in all the mechanics of the game, of me being a head coach for the first time and not sure and if I was doing the right thing sometimes. Same thing with the staff, but you know, I knew our kids would play hard. I think everybody that knows Bison football said the kids would play hard, and even when we were down 14-0, I knew that our guys weren't going to panic, and if we could make a play, we'd have a chance to get back in the game. If we didn't, we could have had a tough day, but we made the play, and then our kids settled in. And once again, I give those seniors that are such great leaders on both sides of the ball credit, because they made sure those kids didn't panic on the sideline.
Injury report, Hardy?
Hardy, I think, maybe had a back or a groin. We'll find out more, I think, on Monday.
You talked about your coaching staff needing a couple of quarters to get acclimated. How the head coach, how long do you need?
I almost screwed up and didn't call a timeout on the first delay game, and I'm thinking to myself, we should call timeout. I'm like, well, that's my job. And so we ended up calling the timeout to save 5 yards. But I got into the flow finally, and I need to do a better job. I can think of some times today that A, I maybe need to keep my mouth quiet, and B, I need to be a better cheerleader at times. And I think I'll improve from today. I know I learned an awful lot out there today.
What was it like leading that team out on the field?
It just sent chills down my spine. It was really cool to come out there with all those guys, and they're like, Coach, let's go. We got to run. This is going to be full sprint. And wow, it was a neat feeling. And this is a special, special place and a special program. And I'm so fortunate to be leading this program right now. And we've got great coaches and great kids that make this a really fun job.
Fifth straight win against the NDS. What does that mean for this program?
Well, our kids enjoy these games. Our kids aren't afraid of the spotlight. Our kids feel that they belong in these games, and we've been fortunate. You know, we were down 14-0 here. Last year we were down 21-7. Maybe a couple of those go the other way, but our kids, and that's Bison pride. You know, those kids will not panic, and they always feel they're in the game if they can find a way to make a play.
You know, you and the players both said it might take a little while to get the offensive lines and the defensive lines meshed a little bit. So it took like 15 minutes, or how long did it take?
Well, the first quarter, I thought we were struggling a little bit, offensive line-wise. And then their first drive, I thought our defensive line was a little bit on skates. But part of it was getting used to the surface. Part of it was just calming down because the sun came out, and I think it got warm. But then our kids just got into a rhythm. And the other guy that deserves a ton of credit here is Jim Kramer. Our kids weren't cramping up. Our kids stayed strong through the fourth quarter. And to Jim and his staff, they had our kids well-conditioned and ready to play a four-quarter game, and my hat's off to Jim and his people.
Just for you, to win your first game as head coach on that field, what does that mean?
It was really neat for me at the end of the game to see my brother on the field and my dad and my two kids, and to share that moment with those guys on the game field. That's something I'll never forget.